Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael, or you can call me Mori, and today I am bringing you my first impressions from the 5th main Far Cry game. Of course, I am not counting Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon and Far Cry Primal. Personally, I didn't like either of them. I did find some parts of Blood Dragon interesting, but it is not my kind of a game, and Primal was just boring. So now it's 2018 and Far Cry 5 comes, and honestly, I feel like Far Cry 3 came out just like a year ago. It's so alive in my memory because of how interesting and good the game was. Far Cry 4, not so much. Far Cry 4 was a lot worse. It was pretty much Far Cry 3 too. So, is Far Cry 5 better than Far Cry 3? Is it on par? Does it improve things? Let's see about it. First, of course, we will take a little gander at the options menu and talk about performance. Now, I just want to say that I have a GTX 1060 from NVIDIA. I have an Intel i7 7700 processor. I have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. And I am running on a Western Digital Black hard drive. Sadly, I don't have an SSD. I need to buy one. I have a 2-monitor setup, which does take a bit away from the performance of my video games. But I have to say, Far Cry 5 runs perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. I have not had a dip below 60, maybe a few times, but other than that, this game runs very well. So let's just go from the top here. Gameplay settings are pretty good, but I don't like the extensive settings of the HUD we got in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. They could work on that, but other than that, auto-drive, weapon targeting, and all of these things, very interesting things I usually will never change. Make sure this is off. Yeah, otherwise other people can join your game, and you really don't want that to happen, unless you do, but I don't, so I turned it off. Auto drive, by the way, this is an interesting feature. When you're driving on a road and you start shooting people, the game will actually steer your car for you, so it's a bit easier to do so. It does make for some interesting moments, and it's still hard to shoot from a car anyway. So interesting. Automatic means as soon as you start targeting or aiming down sights, the game will start auto drive, but you can enable it by pressing shift in a vehicle, and it's gonna stick to the road. It's similar to Witcher 3 system, where the roach followed the road without you having to steer him. Audio settings. We have a lot of things here, of course. Master volume, music, subtitles, sometimes background. I have some notes in English. There's French, Italian, German, Spanish, Dutch, Polish, Czech, Russian, simplified Chinese, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, traditional Chinese, Arabic, off in English again. Subtitles in the background. I don't have those. Adds a background for better subtitle readability. Actually, let's turn it on. Voice chat off. Why is that on? Voice chat volume, pickup threshold. That's the similar thing Discord and other software tends to use now, where instead of having to push to talk, it registers your level and automatically turns the microphone on in the software. Push to talk, obviously. Always on, not always on. But in games, it's courtesy to have it push to talk. It's always better. Because there's always that one guy with a fan next to his computer, and it's gonna be very annoying. And then, of course, you can set your microphone and your speakers. Gamepad settings, pretty self-explanatory. You can't rebind them, which you should be able to. There's absolutely no reason you can't. It is showing the PlayStation 4 or like generic PlayStation controller because of where the sticks are, so I don't like that. When I use a controller, I use the Xbox One controller, but that doesn't matter. I'm not going to be using a controller with a first-person game anyway. The keyboard and mouse settings are good. There's a lot to see here. This is amazing. It's very pretty. It shows very well what does. Yep, I am very pleased. See, you can kind of see it on the keyboard. I very much like what Ubisoft is doing with these settings here, with showing really what's happening. I very much like that. You can rebind pretty much everything. Then we of course have third-party software here, which is Corsair and Tobii eye tracking. Corsair having, if you have if you are 14 years old and you have a RGB keyboard and you want it to be lit up like a Christmas tree, you can do that. I'm of course joking. You can have an RGB keyboard even if you're old and adult, but you know, it's a joke. Tobii eye tracking it's an interesting thing I've never used, and I have no clue how it works. So if you want to know more, obviously you can Google that out. But what this does, it tracks your eyes, so you can actually target by looking at things. Interface. Again, you have so many options. Again, what I'm missing is the screenshot of the game that shows what each thing is. Oh, we did skip over video. I am a moron. Video, because obviously benchmark and credits are something we're not gonna be going into, and tutorial menu is quite self-explanatory. So video at the end, we have the video editor, which is for me my GTX 1060, 6 GB of VRAM. My disk, you can have both of the your monitors. I have two, so it's 1 and 2. Menu display in a multi-display setup. The selected display will be used for game menus. So interesting. Obviously, you can set a lot of things. This does go even to 480 by 2160. Very good. It does take a lot more VRAM, that's 4K. Refresh rate I can't change because I have a 60 Hz monitor. And this is the most beautiful settings menu I've ever seen. Well, no, there could be a bit more, but I very much like what Ubisoft is doing with this. They actually show you what it does. So you can just look at the differences here. I'm playing at the graphics quality of high. I did go for a bit at ultra. It does tank the FPS a tiny bit, so I do get the occasional drop below 60, but it is very rare even on ultra. But I don't like drops anyway. I'm fine with high. Obviously, color settings, colorblind mode for people who need it, very good. Obviously, probably more colorblind options would be appreciated. There's more than one type of colorblindness, but I can't obviously speak for people who are colorblind. Obviously, other adjustments for brightness, contrast, and gamma, very good. Like to see that. And finally, advanced settings as VSync. I did have to turn it on because of screen tearing. It was nothing too serious though. Frame rate lock obviously is not necessary with VSync, but you can lock your frame rate if you so desire. Field of view is here, which is very good. Every video game should have this. Well, especially every first-person game should have this. And the resolution scale, the kind of newcomer to the option menus around, where the game will be rendered high resolution. Up to double of your standard resolution, and it will be downscaled to your monitor. This does tank the FPS incredibly, and I can't use it. So that's the option menu. The game runs well, and to show you really, we're gonna jump right in. As you can see here, the game is freaking beautiful. The background of this is like a cinematograph, but it is stunningly beautiful. Now, personally, I don't like these quotes the game gives you. I always found it really weird. I like the character on it. It doesn't fit with the background that well, but I like that. The quotes do get annoying. I would rather the tip to be there and you know, not having it down there. You know, I would rather learn about body armor than and I saw, behold, it was a white horse, which is a line you heard in the game. And that's where we are. We're in the game at constant 60 FPS. Yep, and this game does look very nice. So first thing we have to do, we have to look at the textures that are very good. You can look at the wood here; it looks very nice. Okay, where can you see that? You could see on my gloves actual. Oh, here you go. If you look at my left fist, you can actually see a bit of a depth into the glove. It's not just a skin on your skin, technically. It's not just a reskin of the normal skin texture, which is very good. Obviously the effects in this game are beautiful and amazing. You know, even the dirt looks very good, you know. And this is obviously this is not that great anymore, but we are looking at it very zoomed in. We can use the binoculars to look even further, kind of to test this out. But see, the textures do look very well, especially from a bit of a distance. They do look very nice, so I'm very happy with that. The performance, as I've said, is constant 60, which is what's running at right now, and I am recording the video with my voice. So I did expect some frame drops, and I did have frame drops when I tried to use the. Oh, there was a low frame drop here, by the way. There was a frame drop when I tried to use the XSplit Gamecaster software, but XSplit Gamecaster is a notorious piece of garbage. So right now I'm using NVIDIA Shadowplay for both voice and video. This is 70 bitrate record. I hope it's not that bad. Obviously YouTube artifacting can screw a lot of it up, but the game does look freaking stunning, and so do the effects, which I will try to show you. I will not, because I don't have any grenades anymore. So let us move to the last part of kind of more technical area here, and it's sound. Sound obviously is good across the board. The music is excellent, and the cars, it's very Montana American-esque. I'm not American, but I do feel this is pretty American. The voice acting is somewhat of a mixed bag, in my opinion. The main character, or the antagonist, sorry, Joseph Seed, it has a very good voice actor. Your character doesn't have any, from what I know, except the kind of stuff. So that's that. But across the board, I think sound is pretty good, but it could be improved. I think the sound of the quad car could be better, but obviously I've never ridden this thing, so I can't test for the realness of the sound. And driving is not easy, but what I can do is I can press auto drive, and now it's just driving without me pressing anything. So that's positive. I'm just trying to see, this is the kind of sound, but I presume this is what it would actually sound like. The guns, they do sound very good. If we try to punch something, yes, we do have the sounds for each material here. That's good. And this probably would not be the same sound as normal metal, but I think we can forgive them. So we move to gameplay. Well, the gameplay is fantastic, as in pretty much every Far Cry since Far Cry 3. Even Far Cry 2 was very good. So I don't think there's much to say. You shoot people, and the weapon handling is great. The movement is amazing. There are some faults to it, but for me, and I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. Oh yeah, you can do this. It's pretty amazing. There's a lot of interactivity with certain things. There's a shop, actually. I mean, we should probably buy things. Pretty much gameplay is really good. You're gonna be seeing it in the background, obviously, so I'm gonna try to comment on it while we go on. But what I can tell you is that it's very solid. It feels natural, but it does feel very similar to Far Cry 4, just slightly improved. Now, we're getting to the more negative part, which is the story. So let's just open the map here. And Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 had one of the blandest characters as the protagonist I've ever seen in a game of this caliber, of this type. It was horrible. Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs, compared to them, is the most charismatic and interesting character in history, especially to Far Cry 4. But what did they do with Far Cry 5? Did they offer a new interesting protagonist with his with their own story, maybe a female character? No, you can create your own. It's a silent protagonist. So the other way around, and they went full in. They just all into open world freedom bollocks. They did take a page from the Ghost Recon Wildlands book, and you have the main area of the county separated into 3 regions, each controlled by a lieutenant or a herald, as they're called here. When you kill all 3, when we can show here, you can move to take down the father, Joseph Seed. And this starts with the story, and the story is actually probably the weakest element of the game. And this is similar to Ghost Recon Wildlands, actually, where the story is actually also the weakest element. Why is it the weakest element? Well, while the topic is extremely interesting, and the introduction and the first time seeing Joseph Seed is amazing, it's cinematic, it feels awesome. It doesn't last. The tone it sets when he rips eyes from another man just doesn't stick with the game when you can buy chicken hats. I'm sorry, it doesn't, and that's sadly a fault on the game's part. It should stick with the tone, and it would be better for it. And there is no concrete narrative because you can go into any region. You can do the regions in any order. They are separate stories. They don't influence each other, and there's no concrete linear story progression. It doesn't have to be linear, but it could be just few branching paths, not full on open world, which does make the game feel less story based. Which is it bad for a Far Cry game? I don't think so. I really don't think so. There are some interesting parts, like the map is better. It's 3D now, very nice like this. I like that. There's no mini map, so they removed that. By the way, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, the story is the weak part. You are a deputy of the U.S. Marshal, from what I've understood. You try to arrest Joseph Seed, the cult leader, but people, you get him into a chopper, you crash land, he escapes, and you're hunted down. At this point, you must throw away your suspension of disbelief because there's no way to do this game without it. Pretty much all communication is lost. You can't call anyone, and they're not gonna be looking for U.S. Marshal in this territory, so nobody's coming, and I'm kind of worried how they're gonna end this. I hope the National Guard doesn't sweep in, but that's what would normally happen. So you do have to suspend your disbelief in a massive way. While the place, being America, is interesting, and it's way better than Far Cry 3 and 5. Far Cry 3 and 4. This is one thing that doesn't really work. While in well, this is cool. See, it does move around depending on the cursor. While in games like Far Cry 4, being a separate island, it did make more sense. But at this point, you actually have a reason why you are skilled with weapons. That actually is good. So far the story is a mixed bag. It's not bad per se, but it's not that great. Some other things that they changed is obviously the removal of the mini-map. But other than that, it's pretty much your standard Far Cry game. The fire effect. Just look at this, and there's no frame drop. I had fire sprawling a little part of the forest, and it looks amazing, and it stays. I'm gonna what I'm gonna actually do here, I'm gonna shoot that red barrel over there. See that? And there was no frame up, and it looks beautiful. See, just beautiful. You know, the particle effects, the fire, it all looks just stunning. And you can take the map here and a key. That actually should have unlocked a part of the map. It didn't. You can have a bear as your pen, by the way. Yes, I know. Alright, let's actually go do some gameplay, then we're going to talk about issues and the conclusion. So, the elephant in the room. You already can see it here, the silver bars. We have to talk about this, I'm sorry. The microtransaction elephant in the room. There are microtransactions. Now, I live in the Czech Republic. This is about $5. This is about $10. This is about $25. This is around $50, and this is about $70, $80. Can't say per exactly right now, but you know, this is the kind of it's the standard microtransaction pricing here. I did buy 500 of them. That's why I still have 100. So I did spend $5 on them. I'm gonna just sell my loot here before we continue. Really? Why does that sell for so low? Wow. So now, what can you buy for them? You can actually buy quite a limited selection of things for them. You can buy weapons for them, but only kind of like you can buy this for it. This stupid little shovel. But you can buy it also for game money. I haven't found a weapon that's available only for microtransaction money, for the silver. But there are weapons that are available only through in-game money, so it's not like you can buy everything if you just spend enough money. There are some, especially the special, some of the, oh my god, this looks amazing. I don't know how much that is though. It depends on per weapon basis. Like you can get this, but you know, it's not gonna be that much good, but it costs 400 silver, which is about $4, which is not that good. Yep, this is pretty self-explanatory. There are weapons, and these are for purchase for the silver. What you can buy for the silver more than anything else is the outfit. I did buy this outfit. It's this one, and it cost me 300 silver. And yes, I could buy it for 5,400 normal money, but I just wanted it now. Is there anything that's... I am not 100% sure, but as you can... Oh, this is through the Ubisoft club for the club points. So it's a bit of a different thing. Yeah, there is nothing you can actually have masks. It looks fucking horrifying. And special... You can even be Joseph C. This is the antagonist, actually. You can look like him. This is one of the other characters. This is Jacob. This is John. And this is Pagan Min from the previous game. Sadly, you can't be him. He was a great character that I very much liked. Yeah, I bought the glasses again. Yeah, again, everything can be achieved through normal gameplay, and I don't believe it's too unreasonable. You can actually get money pretty quickly. So, microtransactions, are they bad? No. You can buy everything for real money, for in-game money, and for real money. The exclusive stuff that are only for in-game money, there's no problem about that. You do make a lot of money if you try, so nothing bad about that. I'm gonna fill my ammo here. See, I already have like $457, and I've not tried to get any. So let's just take a look at weapons. This is the only problem. That's the fetching from the store. If your connection is slower, it takes a longer period of time, and it's annoying. I'm actually gonna look at, yeah, I have this weapon, I found it, and you can actually add scopes on it. They are very expensive. You can add suppressors. The funny thing is, I have a little magnum here, but you can actually put a scope like this on it, and nobody cares. You can do it. You can make it pink, you can make it colors. This is the prestige skin. Again, it's expensive, but you can get it for 100 silver. You can put some crazy combinations together, you know. Yeah, I can't get this one because it's locked. So yeah, that's the weapons. The weapons are pretty cool. It's their standard first-person stuff nonsense. And see, the fire is spreading very kind of naturally. It's not going to destroy any items, but but it does spread, and if you walk to it, you would get burned, as demonstrated. You have regenerating health in the bottom right corner. Now, what else is there that we should be talking about? Oh shit, I'm on fire again. Well, one more thing. You no longer have levels. They remove them completely. You have perks, and you just get points, and you can buy whatever you want. So I'm saving up 8 to get an extra weapon, because I just can't. I always like to use the bow, but I also want a normal weapon, and the handgun isn't enough right now, so I want to get that. But you can get already unlocked Jess, which is she is your companion. There's a whole system regarding them. They're the specialists. So you have this is a guy from Far Cry 4, and you have obviously other characters, and you have animals. You have a what is this? I don't know what this animal is called in English actually. You have a grizzly. I really want him. His name is Cheeseburger, and then you have Boomer. And if you look, he is the good boy. This guy is the fearsome grizzly, and this is feline powerhouse. I am not interested in the human characters at all. I want the animals. And then you have just random fighters who walk with you, but I like to be alone in my playthrough actually. And right now I'm playing on normal. I did try on hard, but it actually is quite hard. But beware, I suck at first-person shooters, so it may be that. Alright, so let's actually go and try to do something. Is there something we could do right now? Let's just take a car or a vehicle and try to go into the other area and maybe shoot people. And we can kind of come to a conclusion here and talk about some issues possibly. So let's just, you know, try to go there, and I can press shift and it's gonna try to drive on its own using the, yeah, but it can get stuck. I am not gonna turn on the radio, even though I would very much like to show you the music. I don't know if it's copyrighted, and I don't want to get a copyright strike. Alright, let's see now. It's traveling to waypoints, so I can freely aim, and it's gonna turn on its own. But it does travel a bit slower, I think. So I can speed it up by holding W. But I don't have to turn, which is extremely useful. And honestly, the driving mechanics in this game, or just in Far Cry in general, are not that great. Okay, there is something we should probably kill, so. Alright, that car with the skull must be something interesting. I actually don't know what that is. I haven't encountered that before. You can destroy, you pretty much in every area you get perks like resistance points, and you do that by destroying the, what are you doing, car? Yeah. Oh, the skull disappeared for some reason. Oh, whatever. Let's just drive this way. You do that by destroying property of the cult and helping people. So these people were. No, I don't. No. So I did save them. Now I got points for that. And yeah, now I have a character, and I can actually go here now, and there's Dr. Sarah Perkin. So, and we have something to do, see? And this is all natural. While you don't have a concrete route to take, don't run in front of the car. You still kind of get around using these little quests and stuff like that, which is just really cute way of doing it, and very. It does feel somewhat next generation. Like, this is no longer just a video game with a linear story. It does a bit more, but the system is not perfect, obviously. It does have some faults. We're gonna be shooting. Wait, that's rats.
Back! Oh, thank God! They've got me pinned up here. Please, I need your help.
I'm sorry, Wolf. These are trained wolves from the cult. As you can see, poor wolves. I do feel bad for them. You can take their skin and sell it. It's actually a good way to make money, all things considered. I'm gonna jump. Oh, I'm such a terrible shot. Holy hell.
Damn it!
Come to me, Doggo.
Holy shit!
Fucking hell, you're annoying.
Holy shit! Thanks for the help. Hold on, I'm coming down.
And we did a quest, yeah. And this did feel natural. We helped some people on the road, and they led us to this place, and we may get a reward for this. We can read a journey. You can, if you want to read this. For I'm not reading out loud in case it's spoilers. So if you want to read, you can read it also or not. See, they did torture Pool Wolf here.
Shit, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Thanks for that. I'm Sarah, by the way, Sarah Perkins.
Sarah Perkins.
Heading up a wildlife conservation team studying the wolves in the park, and then, well, we found these things. They're wolves, but not like anything I've seen before. The cult calls them judges. Bigger, stronger, tougher than the other species around here. The cult tried to force my team to help him. When we said no, they sicked those things on us. Eli and the Whitetails got me out. Been trying to pay them back ever since. I've got a theory on how to use the cult's formula to help us track these creatures. But all I'm working with is corpses. I need a live judge. I know it's a big ask, but I'm desperate. The cult's training him at an old youth camp called the Breakthrough. Do this for me, and I might be able to put something together that'll help you hunt these things. I'll meet you at the camp once it's clear.
And we have more things to do here. So let's where's my car? Over there. It does have a mounted turret, so that could be useful. Let's do one more thing. It has multiplayer with arcade and stuff like that, and 2-player co-op. In the co-op, actually, if you play, only the host retains progression, so you can't. Both players are not part of the story; just one player is. I actually want to get one more point, so you get that through challenges. So we can just get. Yeah, we can just kill enemies with whatever you want. We can kill them with melee, assault rifles, arrow kills, flamethrower kills. There's a lot here. Guns for hire. So let's just kill like 30 more people. That would probably be fun, so let's just drive around a bit. Yeah, the driving does feel somewhat realistic. I'm still not deciding if I like it or not. But you can honk, and you have auto drive, so everything is hunky and dory. So we should be coming to a conclusion. There is not much negative I can say as of this point. I believe the game is fun. I did put out 2, maybe 3 hours in, so it is early impressions and all that. So it is pretty much my first impression, and I like the Dreamcatcher here. Yeah, the first impression is very solid. I did pay £40 for this. There's a sale on greenmangaming.com right now. I'm not sponsored by them, sadly. If they want to sponsor me, I would very much like that. But it's probably gone already. But it's a Ubisoft game, so you can probably wait a bit for a sale. I really like the Magnum. Come on, wherever you are. And you're gone, and you're dead. I really like the Magnum. It's one hit kills for these guys. And you can move bodies, because if you want to be stealthy and the others see dead bodies, then they're not gonna like it. And they're gonna sound the alarm, and you will lose your bonuses. And I already got some money here. So yeah, the first impression of this game is very solid. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. The game is absolutely beautiful. It runs perfectly. Wow, that was close. This is one of the more elite enemies. They have the bow.
Sorry to interrupt, but can you come here?
Oh, they want something. Let's see what they want.
I keep hearing about this chair that breaks people down. It pains me to think that maybe my brother went through that.
Okay.
Sure ain't one of those cult. You know, there's an airstrip nearby with planes and everything.
Oh, also you have planes, by the way.
Jacob's always got men watching.
All right, let's go there. Let's go to the. Oh, there's a prepper stash. That's actually that would actually be a fun way to end the video from the prepper stash. So let's go there. So yeah, I don't have much bad to say about Far Cry 5. It is Far Cry though. It is the same thing. It's very much the Ubisoft open world formula. You're not gonna find The Witcher 3 in this. Oh, we need to trash this. Okay, the mountain gun, the mountain gun. Oh shit, that was a bit of a frame drop here. Wow. This was intense, yeah, but there's someone who can see me. Oh shit, 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 shit. Oh fucking hell. Oh fuck. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I was doing 2 hits and that sucked. And I was at full health. The regen is actually very quick. Yeah, this does happen a lot. This is my biggest gripe with Ubisoft world open world. While I enjoy literally everything else about it, including the towers that were in the previous games, I do not enjoy the bullet spongy bullshit enemies they introduce later in the game, or at this point everywhere. And it's that, you know, oh, he's the boss or he is the elite soldier. I would rather see higher numbers than, or, you know, the AI getting better. The AI is not good in this game. It could improve, but, you know. Also, the respawn system is horrible. It keeps respawning you at terrible locations. And you can't take this car incidentally, so. And you have to run out of here. You lose all your stamina within just seconds, so. Well, it's actually far now, the airstrip. So we're not gonna be able to get there. This is Hark, and I hate him. He's running for Senate, so. Alright, so Far Cry 5, a very positive yes from me. I would very much recommend this, even at full price if you are interested. If you want to just screw around for a few hours shooting things, then I would probably wait for a sale. It's a Ubisoft game. They usually go on sale pretty quickly. There's DLC planned. I believe the reception is not that bad. Mixed reviews on Steam, I honestly don't understand. People do have gripes with the ending, supposedly. So be careful about that if you care about the story in some way. Honestly, I think the ending is not all for a video game. Especially for an open world video game like this one, where the story is not the main focus of it. So, oh, there's 5 tips to start Far Cry 5 off with a bang. So, with no further ado, I will recommend this game to you, and I thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next time with yet another game and my first impressions of it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.